Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the VT said it all. The king of podcasts and the queen, I think, is going to be this morning. The queen of podcasts, the man who's going to give us Luca's inside track. Please welcome Luca Allam and his guest, Aida Busaidy.
Hello, good morning. I'm going to test one more time. Good morning. How are we feeling? So apparently Nick was brilliant yesterday. Did anyone see Nick yesterday? How brilliant was Nick? So Mona's brief was to me, right, Luca, you're going to be Nick, right, on Wednesday. Yeah, it ain't going to go that great, I'm going to tell you right now. But I'm very excited to be here, guys. It's a fantastic honor to be able to introduce you to my show, my podcast, which is called Luca's Inside Track. So for those who are not aware of what Luca's Inside Track podcast is all about, it's about insights. It's about insights. Every single person sitting at this table, or that table, or even that table in the back on the left, has an insight to share based on their personal story, based on their experiences. My show looks at having real conversations with real guests to uncover real insights. That's the show. I had 20 years working in marketing. I worked with some of the biggest brands in the world. And the key to any great campaign and delivering real business performance, it starts with an insight. So today's guest, let me talk to you about today's guest. Today's guest is no stranger to sharing her opinion. Today's guest has over 20 years experience in the industry. Today's guest has over 12 years experience just working for Dubai Tourism. Today's guest leads on some of the most important and groundbreaking campaigns that we have ever seen in Dubai. Are you ready so far? You guys feeling ready for the guest? Are we feeling good for the guest? Are we feeling up for the guest? So today's guest, ladies and gentlemen, she is the AVP of Consumer Advocacy, Celebrity Management, and Social Media at DET. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to give the biggest round of applause to Aida and Busaidy. Oh, these are comfy seats. How are you doing?
Morning. I'm lovely. How are you?
How was the traffic on the way in? Be honest.
It was
What time did you arrive?
manageable. Don't put me on the spot. This is
First question.
slightly embarrassing, but just FYI, I wake up at 5:30 a.m. every day. Yeah? I'm a mother, so
Got two beautiful boys, right?
two wonderful teenagers, tween.
Can they be wonderful? Can you have wonderful and teenagers in the same sentence?
I think the guys.
I've got it already. I love this.
No, but I think they're here for the insights related to the industry, not related to what I feel about teenagers and Gen Zs.
I've also got two young boys as well, so we're on the same page. I'll be asking you later about some tips. But these guys aren't here to listen about our kids, right? Ida, you have a fantastic CV.
Thank you.
Really, you have a fantastic CV. We are going to get into the insights around what you've been doing at DET, the tourism insights that you're going to bring to the table, what's happening in the world, and how the world is now coming to Dubai. But before we go any further, usually on my show, for those who are familiar, I always start by asking the guest about their favorite mug. So I asked Aida to bring in her favorite mug from home that will tell me something about her. Now, what I'm going to do while you're talking, I'm going to be filling up your mug. So go for it.
So, part of my delay today, by the way, I was only 5 minutes late. I just want to be very clear. Was because I was in the process of selecting a mug. And for people who know me, I love memes. And most of my mugs are very meme-friendly, but not very conference-friendly.
Let's have a look.
So, no, but I didn't pick that one.
Ah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I got one of Ice Cube in a car in the 80s.
Hello.
Because, we grew up with hip-hop and R&B, and I love music.
You guys see that? Yeah? Bit of Ice Cube.
Ice Cube fans in the audience. So yes, I did pick an Ice Cube because I couldn't, the rest of them were not very appropriate.
Yeah, you an 80s child?
I am an 80s child.
The best decade. Who was from the 80s here?
Zaniels.
Okay, who was before the 80s, just so I know the room? They're not saying anything. We're not going to say it. I love that.
There wasn't even a woo, too. No?
I love that. Like, no, it's not us. Luca, move on. I also, guys, just for you to fill you in, another staple of the show, I'm going to speed up because we've got only a certain limited time.
100%.
I always ask my guests for a safe word. So if there's a question that I'm going to ask that you don't want to answer, for your protection, I always give the chance to my guests to protect themselves. So what is your safe word, Aida?
It's a phrase.
Okay.
Before we dive in deeper.
Okay. So that's my
So
cue.
professional.
So until you say that, I'm going to keep going, right?
Right, that's fine.
Okay, amazing. So just give us a very brief overview of the type of stuff that you're doing right now for Dubai.
Thank you, by the way, for the intro, and maybe just to quickly summarize what Luca said earlier. I've been in the industry, the comms, marcoms industry, for 22 years, of which 12 have been with DET, previously known as DTCM. I started off in PR in Dubai tourism, and then around end of 2016, the mandate came in to kind of really revolutionize how we communicate to various different audiences. We expanded the horizon in terms of like what markets we're going to go into. We really segmented the regions into very specific areas, and then we diversified the audience. And so it's a very fancy way of saying that we went into social media back then. And of course, with social media, as you know, the age and the range of influencers came in as well. So we've expanded that into being influential people rather than influencers, so people with a social following, into people who actually have influence, right? So a Michelin star chef, for example, could be heavily influential in the gastronomical strategy or the journey of the destination, you know, could sit in a committee and so on and so forth. So yeah, so currently what I do is I handle two very specific departments. Easy one to kind of communicate, because we're all in the social media age, is I do run the entire social media digital ecosystem for Dubai Tourism, which also includes the corporate channels, the market channels. So essentially it's just a little bit over 40 channels across multiple languages.
You basically manage the brand of Dubai on social channels.
Correct, yes.
That is massive. It's a very simple phrase to say, right, as a job title, right?
I mean, it's much deeper than that.
How difficult is your job?
Look, you have to be online all the time. And I think a lot of people tend to maybe not understand what the essence of social media is, but we really drive the strategy. So it's not just about social posting. It's about listening. It's about reporting. It's about analyzing. And so that analysis then helps us to drive future campaigns and really assess, do we need to be on social or not, right? And what touch points you need to develop. So that happens on a daily basis. So what I do for the African market is very different to what I do for the UK market. Do we even need to be on Instagram for the UK market, or can we just stay on Facebook for the UK market? But also we've diversified what we do with social, so which leads me to my second department, which is the consumer advocacy, because again, we're a government entity, and it's very easy, obviously. If you love your kids, you will be the best version and the cheerleader for your kids.
I'll be honest,
the same thing for our city.
They woke me up this morning at 4:30, so today my love for them is at a lower level than most days.
You love them. You just want to be difficult. But we will wax lyrical about our own city because this is my hometown.
Yeah.
But it's also my job. So can you imagine when you combine passion with work and having seen the city develop like through your eyes? So we're not reading about our city through history books. We're actually creating the history as we go. So you can imagine how comprehensive that is in terms of like who else can say more about the city in a different way. So we build third-party advocacy, and that includes working with celebrities, but it's not one of those one-off, hey, look at me, I'm in Dubai. No, it's really building that ground strategy, moving to Dubai, working in Dubai, living in Dubai, performing in Dubai, and we do that with different sectors of the different.
So you mentioned celebrities, influencers. Come on, name drop. Who are you friends with? Who's in your phone?
I have a black book.
Okay, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, it's a really good thing.
Okay.
I can reach a few people.
Okay. Care to name drop any?
Yeah,
she hasn't said it yet. I'm pushing. Yeah.
Let's see. In the music world, composer Hans Zimmer, J Balvin, who were just recently here as well. From the acting world, you've got Taraji B. Henson, Tom Holland.
You met Spider-Man.
Yes.
That's pretty cool, man.
Pharrell Williams.
Nice. How much do you love your job, and how big a responsibility is it? Because you come from Dubai, because you've been brought up here your entire life, to make sure that you do the very best job you can to representing this city on social channels.
If my husband were here, I did invite him, by the way. I was like, "Can you?"
You did, or you didn't?
I did.
Okay.
He didn't want to come. He was like, "Oh, don't introduce me, because then everybody's gonna want to meet me." And it's
Okay.
too much.
I'll get him on the show next season. Yeah.
I do love my job. Prior to this, I used to work in Masdar, which is the sustainability energy company in Abu Dhabi. And then before that, I was in Dubai Holding, and I actually started my career in a PR agency. But throughout, I've always been in comms, so always written. I've been on television. But I feel this is the sector in the industry that it's the glove fits the hand. Let's just put it that way.
And look, I teach coaching for public speaking, right? Communication. One of the things I try and teach people is about how to have real passion behind it, and you have it through purpose and belief. Like your purpose and belief in what you do is unbelievable. Aida, we have a lot of questions that I want to get through.
Okay.
So I've warmed you up a little bit. You feel a bit warmed up?
Yeah, I was warm.
Yeah?
Did you guys think I was warm, or was that too cold?
Yeah, warm, and you're warming up even better. Right, I have a bag. In that bag, there are some golf balls, okay? And on the golf balls, there are some questions. What I would love you to do is to pick up the bag and pick out one ball at a time, read it out loud so the audience know what the question is. They're going to be related to what you do, okay? So let's have some fun.
All right. Are you going to hold the bag?
It's for you. Yeah, can you reach over?
Yeah, okay. It's like Christmas, but I'm not getting the gift.
Yeah. By the way, I'm stealing your mug. It's going to go on my mantelpiece with all the other guests, FYI. Ice Cube, maybe.
All right. Question is, is it question or is it it's a debate, sorry.
Yeah, so
Creating a legacy as a new city is easier than maintaining a legacy from an older city. Then it says full stop, debate, full stop.
Yeah.
What do I do with this now?
So we answer the question. So the question really is asking, is it easier to create a legacy for Dubai on a blank slate than trying to sort of build and maintain an older legacy like the Londons of the world, the Parises of the world, etc.?
So I think there's always the good, the bad, and the ugly. But let's start with the good, right? I think when you're a fairly new city, and when we say fairly new, obviously since the establishment of the UAE, we're about to turn 54 years old. Being new essentially is an opportunity to be innovative, right? There's a lot of agility, there's a lot of flexibility. It's a young city with a young heartbeat, very entrepreneurial at heart. And when you think and act and do like an entrepreneur, it gives you a lot of malleability to adjust the infrastructure, right? We live in the age and stage of technology. You have connectivity everywhere. AI is essentially a huge part of what we're doing right now, but also it gives us a combination of looking at timelessness as well as trend setting, right? So it's not just creating the trend, it's also foreseeing, having the foresight of knowing what the trends are. And this is obviously enhanced when you look at the layering of what Dubai has done with the D33 strategy, with the Dubai roadmap strategy of 2040. You really know what's up and coming. So really that strategizing on what is potentially going to be the next phase of the city, because we're building the city of the future. We weren't building the city for now. And I think that in itself is creating a form of legacy whereby people will talk about the city that was built during this time, which is still sustainable, right?
You're creating it as you go.
Exactly.
Those
100%.
phases, how long are those phases, would you sort of classify?
Look, I think with any strategy that's being built, if you really think about it, anything between a 3 to 5 year, maximum 10-year strategy, right? So you have a big, I guess you say, macro strategy, and then that can be readjusted and adjusted as you go. But there are some core goals that we want to look at, right? So sustainability is one of our core goals. Value is one of our core goals. Making sure the educational system is one of our core goals. And then you build towards those core goals in order for the city to maintain this momentum when it comes to being innovative.
Yeah.
When it comes to the old cities, I guess you could say, if you built something over 100 years ago, right, where you didn't have access to tech, a various different, I guess you could say, connectivity to the world in terms of infrastructure, in terms of knowledge, there are slight limitations, right? And this is mainly on the infrastructure. But it doesn't stop legacy cities or older cities to be innovative in other ways, right? From a social structure perspective, from a tourism perspective. So I think, look, like I said, there's the good, the bad, slightly maybe the ugly, depending on who. But we're not here to compare. I think we are on a trajectory that basically says, what is the country also going to look like within the next 50 years? Yeah. And then maybe in 10 years' time, once we're done with the D33 strategy, because it was launched in 2023, there'll be a newer strategy that's being developed, right? So forward thinking, entrepreneurial at spirit, being innovative, agility and flexibility are core.
Yeah, and then again, that newness really does help you that, because you can have that sort of blank slate approach.
Yes.
You talked a little bit about the sort of strategy. Sort of where it comes from is the mindset also, right? Where you want to go. What type of city do you want to be? The fact that in this country we're blessed to have incredible leaders that can take that longer term view versus, let's face it, other cities that you won't name that sort of have a much more temporary type of approach.
So you're here.
I bring that. So do you think that Dubai has that unfair advantage in a good way, that they can start to deliver long term right from now and don't have to worry about changing approaches or changing systems to be able to deliver against that longer term vision?
Maybe let me take a step. How many of you have been in Dubai for 10 years? Just show of hands. Okay. 15? 20? 25?
There's a gentleman who's really proud over there. He's like, yeah, I've been there. I love that.
What about 30 years?
Wow.
Okay.
Mona's got a hand up.
Mona's been,
There's a few over here. There's a few over here.
So I think I'm gonna lose the audience after that. But the reason I say 30 is I'm older than 30.
Yep.
But what I wanted to kind of place is because by the time I was of age, I was able to actually see what the city was ongoing. But when my parents and my grandparents were around, and I remember the conversations that we had, because the changes were happening as young as when I was 10, 12 years old. And a lot of people didn't have that foresight. There was no visibility of the city. And I want to maybe allude to two things. The fact that the leadership, when we say the leadership, I'm not just talking about their highnesses currently, right? Not just Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid and his son Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed. I'm talking about Sheikh Rashid. And I don't know if any of you have actually visited Ittihad Museum. It's just down December 2nd Street. I would really encourage you guys to go to that museum. And it's actually my favorite museum. I know the one across the street is really beautiful, but this one really resonated with me a lot because the declaration of the UAE was actually signed there by their two highnesses. And when you go to the building, it's a beautiful building, architecturally designed. It's beautiful. It's a little bit interesting. But when you go inside, there are 7 pillars that hold up the building, representing the 7 emirates. And then the museum is actually underground. So when you go down, you actually get to see the different rooms, and there's a rotating museum and so on and so forth. But there is one room in there where you go inside and there's a narration. It's done by AI and some animation. With His Highness Sheikh Mohammed's voice, where he actually talks about the union of 2 men establishing a country, right? So the 2 things that I wanted to highlight is number 1, both these 2 men who have now passed, Sheikh Zayed and Sheikh Rashid, made a commitment. It was a gentleman's handshake to establish a country, right? We didn't have any oil. There was no discovery of oil, all right? We didn't have much borders other than the borders of the GCC. So there was a risk-taking element that came in, okay? Let's take a risk and let's do it together. That was the establishment, right? And Sheikh Mohammed actually talks about, I drove them there. I'm the one that poured the coffee. It's beautiful. I really encourage you to see it, right? And especially now with National Day, I think it will resonate a lot more. The second part of it was the vision. And when you have a vision, and I'm not talking about 54 years ago, I'm talking about 60 years ago, right? Because until they decided when the union was going to happen, rally up the different emirates as well, it takes vision. So when you have this vision very early on, when people laugh at you and think, what you going to build in the desert?
Yeah.
You look outside.
Who's laughing now?
Who's laughing now, right?
Yeah,
And you'll see a lot of quotes from His Highness where it's like, you know what? My friends are still building sandcastles on the beach, and I have the palm. So I think when you go back in time, this isn't a city that was built 5 years ago. It took a lot of grit. It took a lot of passion. It took risk-taking. It took saying, you know what? If we build it, they will come.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we will continue doing.
Love
And that ethos actually lives within us as an Emirati. And I feel even more so now with the hands that have been raised, even the residents are like, no, this is my home.
We feel it as well.
100%.
Should we crack on? Another question?
Yes.
We've got 4 more in there, Aida.
Okay.
Right? Can you grab it?
Yes, I can. What if I pick the same one again?
No, it's already
Oh,
here.
you got it. Oh, you picked
Yeah, you see? Oh, you took 2.
it. No. That
All
was
right.
a mistake. Do the increased travel numbers in 2025 reflect a more local pull-in or a global push-out?
So are people coming to Dubai because they're escaping wherever they're coming from? Or is it because Dubai is so amazing that they have to come here? Is it pull or is it push? What's happening?
It's both.
I
So-
knew you would say that. If you had to lean, right? If you had to lean on which answer, what would you go for?
I would definitely say it's a pull, not a push.
So why are people coming to Dubai?
I think in terms of saving time and not repeating myself from the first answer, because I think I said a lot of it there earlier on, but when you build, so infrastructure is one part, and I'm not going to highlight that a lot. I'm pretty sure everybody is very clear about what we have. Connectivity in terms of airport, you've got 1/3 of the population within a 4-hour flight path, 2/3 of the population within an 8-hour flight path. So you know that you're connected, right? The infrastructure is good. The connectivity is extremely well thought of. The brand building, whether it's Emirates, whether it's Emaar from a hospitality perspective or Jumeirah from a hospitality perspective, that social touch, the diversity of the population, you're talking about 200 nationalities that make up Dubai, the fact that we actually are a tolerant country, we have a minister of tolerance, you've got a minister of AI looking forward to the future, safety and security.
If anyone was ever wanting to leave Dubai, I would just send them to you, right? And within about 30 seconds, they are changing their flight plans, they're staying and they're uprooting, they're staying here.
I've had a few naysayers who actually didn't believe, and I said, you know what, just come.
Yeah.
After you come, then make a decision. It's kind of like, when you, how old are your kids again? You told me they're a bit
I've got
younger.
a 4-year-old and a 2.5-year-old.
Okay, that's a bit difficult. But with your 4-year-old, if you try to convince your 4-year-old to eat or to try something new, what happens?
Yeah, he just walks away.
100%, right? And that was, okay, this sounds like a really first world problem, but I remember my kids didn't like sushi because they were like, what's sushi?
It's raw fish. I mean, let's be honest.
I know, but we were like, no, you should try it, because we want them to experience the gastro. These are expensive children.
Yeah,
so I have to
I'm
say.
with you.
And they love sushi. So it's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
We, as humans, we are comfortable with being comfortable.
Yeah.
And I think the minute you step out of that comfort zone, and that's why the link with my job, which is what I'm going to allude to right now, that advocacy, it's not enough for me to just say, come to Dubai. Mm-hmm. You can say, come to Dubai, because you've got friends, from back home who are like, is it really worth the hype? You're like, you know what? Come and see me. Come and visit. Come and try out stuff. And we've moved on now from just being a tourism destination. We are looking at living and working.
Yeah, I think you're lucky, not lucky, it's all designed, but all the people in the room here today, I can pretty much guarantee at some point they've told their friends or their family, come to Dubai, come visit it, check it out. Because the naysayers, like you mentioned, will say whatever they want to say. We're not going to talk about them so much because we can't control that, but we can control is what we do and what we say and how we act.
100%.
Can you pick another one out?
Okay.
We're on a roll, Aida. We are on a roll.
Timekeeping is, all right.
Gotta be, man.
There we go.
British, that's what it is.
Arab hospitality is unique and celebrated. Will AI integration create too much experiential sameness?
So the question is really asking, we are famous in this region for our hospitality, okay? The Arab hospitality. When you start integrating AI into that sort of journey, if you like, do we then start falling into the trap of being like all the other destinations out there and we kind of erode our own hospitable kind of approach in nature?
Short answer is no.
Okay.
AI is meant to personalize and meant to be efficient, right? At the end of the day, people still want to connect to other people. we're humans, right? No matter what you do at the end of the day, the ease of checking in rather than waiting in line, isn't that better for you so that you can start your holiday much faster? You can spend more time with your family. But if it's the ease of checking, which is document heavy rather than just meeting the face, right? And then at the end, you can meet the person who will give you the card key or the key to your room. So short answer is no. At the core of it, we are a hospitable country. Hospitality is a core part of not just our culture, but also our religion. And when you have those baseline, it really creates this ethos of, no, we need to continue it. But we also want to make sure that we're not behind the game and we're either ahead of the game or leading it in some cases as well. So where AI can be integrated for enhancement or efficiency, then the answer is yes, we will use it. But this is not an AI
But not at the expense of
100%.
Of who we are and our identity.
100%.
Love it.
Do I
Look
need to
at
pick
that.
another golf
Yeah,
ball?
you know, now you know. You
It only
got
took
it.
me 4.
You got it.
Oh, there's 2 more.
There's 2 more.
Prioritize 1 to 5 for Dubai tourists.
Okay, so this is about you ranking them in order. So prioritize for the Dubai tourist the 5 things. So
Okay.
which is most
do I
important?
read it out?
Please, yeah.
Okay, so experiential, value, AI. Sorry, okay, so experiential is 1, value is the 2nd, AI and digital is 3rd, socially conscious 4, wellness 5.
Yeah. So why do people?
That's the order that you have it in.
Yeah, but I want you to pick what is the right order. Why do people actually come here in the first place? Are they coming for value? Are they coming for wellness? Are they coming for,
So I definitely will say experiential.
Okay.
Yes, as I would rank that as 1, and then I would rank value as 2, then I would rank socially conscious as 3. Well, maybe wellness 2. Can I pick 2 for 3?
Yeah.
And then AI and digital as the last one, because I don't think people seek out to just be digital. I think it's an afterthought. Like I want to share my experience afterward, right? Because I'm advocating for the city. But let me start with number 1.
Experiential.
So when you talk about experiential and when you link it to the destination, I remember who remembers when Burj Khalifa first opened up? Wasn't it fantastic?
2010, was it?
Yes. And when you look at Burj Khalifa, the first floor that was opened was the 124th floor. That was it. That's all you could see. It was a viewing deck and that's all you could see. Now you've got the 148, then you've got the 152, you've got the 8th person that went onto the top was Mr. Beast. So the experience, the layering of the experience just kept getting better with the Burj. And actually, there's more people who take pictures outside of the Burj than they do inside the Burj, right? Because they want the bragging rights of saying, I was in Dubai. So experience will always be at the core of any tourist journey at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
And then what is the value add? Like, am I getting value, whether it's from a pricing perspective or whether it's, from a documentation perspective? Because you want that experience to add value to your memories. Yeah. So experience will always be number 1.
So when you're a DET, you're literally pushing that sort of experiential front foot to get people in, and then they can see the value, and then all the other stuff is a bonus.
Yes, and then we personalize as well. Okay. But we personalize it based on interest, because today, when we say the destination is for everybody, the destination is for everybody, right? Now, we might not be the only people marketing it, but everybody else is definitely pushing for what Dubai has to offer. Yeah. So if you want something serene, you go to Hatta.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
I was there last week, by the way.
Isn't it fantastic?
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. And
I took the wife on a staycation. I left the kids.
I see you winking. Is she here?
She is.
There she is.
Yeah, there she is. There's my
Hardcore
bodyguard
fan.
right there. Yeah, there she is.
But yeah, so experiential is definitely on the top of the list.
Amazing.
We have 1 minute to go.
And we have one more question, or we might actually have a curveball. Go for it.
Hold on, let's go. Ta-da.
Do you play golf, by the way? You're a golf player?
My husband does.
Okay.
I play paddle.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like proper paddle. Like I win tournaments.
You're that kind of person.
I'm that kind of person.
All right. I'm not going to ask you to play paddle with me then.
Does the strategy make the product, or does the product dictate the strategy?
Okay, just finish this question. So does the strategy make the product?
Or does the product
as in Dubai is the
dictate the
product.
strategy?
Dubai is the product, right?
Dubai is a product.
Or does the Dubai product actually inform the strategy?
No, it's the strategy.
Okay.
So if you don't have a strategy in play, what's the kind of product that you're actually going to sell? It doesn't make any sense. It's not like Dubai is continuously becoming a product. You know, when okay, this is a horrible example, but Tide always markets itself as new and something else. What was the other word? I can't remember.
Thailand? Talking about
No, Tide.
Ah.
The soap.
Okay.
New and improved.
Clearly, this is not sponsored by them.
Obviously, yes, yeah. But if you take that tagline, right, of new and improved by Tide, okay, again, it's just a soap. But if we actually took that tagline and put it in the relevance of the context of Dubai, it is a new and improved version of Dubai, right? Whether, like I said, the layering of the experiences, the ease of moving into the airport, for example, the experiences that you have, we've got over 300 to 400 calendar events. On a single day, you might have 6 events that happen across the city as well, right? So yes, it is designed by a strategy. It's not designed by the product. And so when you know what you want as an end goal, then you develop the strategy, you work backwards and develop the strategy and enhance the product.
So what I know about DET, what you guys do is, if it's not working, you don't sort of go, oh, let's keep doing it. No, you move and you change quite quickly, and you don't have any ego in it, right? So you can say, you know, it didn't work, we have to progress, we have to do something a bit different.
Yeah, I alluded to it a little bit earlier. Like, again, when you're a younger city, you have the flexibility, you have the agility, and you are entrepreneurial at heart, which means you can make those changes efficiently, quickly, and better for everybody else.
Great insights. There's one last ball. It's a curveball. There's no question on it, okay? This is about you, Aida. So you've worked 22 years, so I stand corrected, I said 20 years, 22 years in the industry. You've worked with some of the biggest names in Hollywood, Bollywood, and local. You've had 12 years experience working at Dubai Tourism. What is that one insight that you think everyone in this audience and those who are going to be watching later need to know? The power is yours.
As a person or as work?
Whatever you want to share.
I would say stay curious and keep moving. Those two things. I think we tend to sometimes allow other people to dictate to us what might be good for ourselves or our city, but sometimes that curiosity really changes the mindset, and then the movement also enhances that mindset. And I think when we maintain the curiosity, like, why can't we do this? Or how can we do this, right? And then we figure out how to do it, and then you move to get it done. I think those two things. And actually, I apply this in my life as well. I'm just a little bit over 40, if anybody wants.
Me too. How old are you? Come on, we're all thinking, we're asking.
I'm 42. I'm 42.
Okay, I'm older than you. It's okay.
Yeah. Obviously, but
obviously. Okay, now. All right. Just thought she liked me. I was right.
But I'm constantly curious. I'm constantly curious about how to get better, you know, as a mother, how to get better as a boss, how to get better as a colleague, how to get better as just as a citizen at the end of the day. And I think when you're curious, it really keeps you on your toes. And if you keep moving, it really gives you the agility to look into different directions, because there's not just one way of doing something right. And there's also not just one way of doing something wrong. Yeah. But if you try multiple ways, and even if you fail 9 times out of 10, the 10th will definitely be successful.
I absolutely love that. Look, ladies and gentlemen, can we have a massive round of applause for Aida Busaidy?
Luca, Allam.
I can't believe she thinks I'm that much older. All right, guys, thank you so much. For those who are interested in watching more insights, learning more insights, please subscribe to the channel to watch the full episode again with Aida. Thank you all so much, and I will see you actually this afternoon. So thanks, guys. See you soon.